Woody, Luke Woodhouse.
Watching afternoon repeats and the 38s in the country. He takes a manner of pills and piles up analyst spells in the country. Oh, it's like an animal farm, that's a rural charm in the country. He's got morning glory and life's a different story. Everything's going Jack and Jory. In touch with his own mortality. He's reading Mozart, looking back.
Luke Woodhouse tritt an gegen den World Masters Sieger von 1993, den BDO World Champion von 1996, und er ist immer noch einer aus den Top 25 als aktueller 21 der Welt. The Bronze Adonis, Steve Beaton!
Penultimate game of the session, and it's some afternoon delight with Steve Beaton, the number 14 seed, a former winner on the European Tour, a former champion of the world. He takes on Luke Woodhouse, who was pretty impressive in overcoming Manfred Bilderl last night. 6-1 victory against the host nation qualifier, an average round about 95, but for much of the game it was up at the 100 mark. Now, if he can reproduce that, and Steve Beaton could be beaten. We've only seen one seed knocked out so far. That was the shock defeat of Christoph Ratajski at the hands of Michael Rosenauer, the German. We will see at least one German in the final day of action here at the International Darts Open in Riesa in Saxony. But will the bronzed Adonis or Woody be moving through to face Daryl Gurney, who's just survived a scare against Danny Noppert?
Game on.
George Noble gets us underway. It is Woodhouse with the advantage of throwing first, and Chris Murphy's in the comms box for it.
Yeah, I do think that Luke Woodhouse certainly does provide a potential banana skin for Steve Beaton.
100.
Did meet earlier this year.
Yeah, one very good.
No, at a floor event. Woodhouse won, but you're right, Dan, it wasn't spectacular.
41.
Beaton provided a very special moment on the Euro Tour early this year when he nailed a 9-darter. You missed that, Dan, didn't you?
I did.
58.
Potential banana skin, actual bananas.
99.
Very impressed most of the time when I see Luke Woodhouse.
100.
Looks like a very capable operator.
Well, I was talking with Mark Webster in his first round game yesterday, and the throw looks really nice. It's really easy, really straight. There's nothing that seems to go wrong with it.
Replicatable.
Yes, exactly. Not unlike
60.
the great man himself, Steve Beaton. But he doesn't seem to have bad games, Luke Woodhouse. His poor game, you don't see any awful averages from him. It's all sort of, his poor games are in the 80s. His good game is up near 100. Now, if he can just find a way of spending a bit more time
100
in his A-game zone, then I think he could start making real progress. He did make it a quarter-final on the tour in Barnsley, Wigan actually, sorry,
80.
over the summer.
You require
He
83.
regularly finds himself and quarterfinals, the odd last 16. Double 16 here. Gets the first leg on the board.
Woodhouse, leg Steve to throw first.
Yeah, well, it would be a first final day appearance on the Euro Tour should Woodhouse
140.
get over the line in this one. And Steve Beaton, yeah, we know what he's capable of. He can go anyone away if he's on song, Steve Beaton. But of all the seeds, I think this is a favourable goal for Woodhouse.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you'd be looking. I mean, you know, I would have argued that Krzysztof Ratajski didn't look like a favourable draw, but then again, Krzysztof Ratajski's put in a very poor display involving 22 missed darts at double. He's the only seeded player to go out so far.
Doesn't help, does it?
No. Adrian Lewis was not very impressive and still won his game against Willie O'Connor. But we have seen good stuff. Rob Cross, very good. Glenn Durrant, very good. Nathan Aspinall, good performance against Justin Pipe. And Daryl Gurney, yes, he's had a bit of fortune surviving the match darts, but he didn't really do anything wrong himself in that game. It's just Noppy was absolutely magnificent in a very tight one. Got his opportunity and blew it.
180.
Stellar stuff from Woodhouse, launching an assault on Beaton's throw here. Beaton doing his best to extinguish a threat, but Woodhouse likely to be, well, will be more handily placed than the Adonis.
139.
Very handily placed indeed. 180, 139 to leave tops. 51 can't be found by the bronzed Adonis, so he won't get a dart at tops.
54. Luke 40.
Just took a step back to compose himself, and then that stance locked in. Delivers the dart into the target. Fabulous starts.
Third leg, Luke to throw.
2 legs, 1 in 30 darts. That's your 100 average. Luke Woodhouse has started off in exactly the same way he started against Manfred Bildale last night. Oh.
77.
George Noble having to defend himself. The brutal bounce out headed towards the puppy.
59.
There's one more match to come this afternoon after this. Gerwyn Price, the defending champion, number 2 seed this weekend against the birthday boy Kyle Anderson.
140.
Beaton hasn't really got going in this one, but Luke Woodhouse just seems very, very comfortable up there. Very comfortable indeed. Oh. Even a shout of yeah as he piled that one in. He just oozing confidence at the minute, Luke Woodhouse.
Luke, you require 104.
Doesn't matter, he'll just tee this up.
88.
And that's exactly what he does. Very, very impressive start. As you said, just like yesterday, racing out of the blocks.
82. Luke requires 60.
Just get the feeling that he'll know that he can't afford to switch off against Steve Beaton, and that might actually aid his performance. Could be about to see something rather special from Woody, who at the moment is light years ahead of Steve Beaton.
8.
Well, not for the first time, and certainly not for the last. Steve Beaton finds himself on a bogey number.
80. Luke, you require 8. Each on the third leg, Luke Woodhouse. Fourth leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
Looking like a very important leg, this one. Steve Beaton on throw.
37.
We mentioned that clash that they had earlier on this year.
96.
Steve is playing at about that sort of level in terms of the averages. Luke Woodhouse has managed to put nearly 20 points on his average, which is why he is 3 legs
60.
in the lead. Whereas that contest went all the way down to a deciding leg.
Yeah, Woodhouse has produced some fabulous stuff in terms of the numbers on the floor. The highest we've seen from him is around 108, but this is certainly the first, well, yesterday and today is the first time he's threatened something like that on the stage.
140.
Yeah, 108 in qualifying for this, in fact.
His last outing on the Euro Tour was a defeat to Willie O'Connor in Denmark, also beaten by Mervyn King in the Dutch Darts Masters earlier this season as well. They were high 80s, low 90s.
160. Steve, 164.
Beaton was trying to render it irrelevant, but Woodhouse is going to get a chance to break again. Not taken.
105. Steve requires 32. He's on the full flag, Steve Beaton.
Steve Beaton finding a 13 darter, and one that he desperately needed, with Luke Woodhouse breathing down his neck. Can it just arrest the Bewdley man's momentum?
78.
Just looks comfortable up there, Luke. Looks assured. I guess one of the advantages of his throwing style is it's not really going to matter what the pace of the opponent is, because he locks himself in, he's got his little routine. Doesn't matter how long he has to wait between throws, he's not going to be hurried or slowed down.
Yeah, it does seem like he's got a nice rhythm to his game, and very much like Beaton. I mean, Beaton's metronomic.
100.
Everything happens at the same pace with Steve Beaton. You know, the way he collects his darts, the way he walks up to the oche, every single throw. The only thing that slows Steve Beaton down is if he's trying to do some sums, and to be honest, most of the time he doesn't bother. So
41. $57. 60.
Well, first poor scoring leg from Luke Woodhouse, and it allows Steve Beaton a way back into this match.
58.
Maths was correct from Beaton, just couldn't find the treble.
The winner of the match will face the man we've just seen win in a very high quality affair. Daryl Gurney surviving a scare against Danny Noppert, who played fantastically until the point he had darts to win the match.
Yeah, survived 3 match darts against Northern Ireland's Mickey Mansell, squandered 3 match darts against Northern Ireland's Daryl Gurney.
Fill it up, Luke. Fill it up, Luke. He's not going to, is he?
130.
I don't know why he didn't go bullseye, to be honest, with the way he's been hitting it. Double 4. Lovely stuff from the bronzed Adonis. His turn to win 2 legs in 30 darts.
6 flag, Steve to
Gives himself a well-deserved drink of water. Didn't realise it was a breaker throw, I think.
40.
Woodhouse just getting rid of a fly before letting them fly.
Beaton, obviously a regular on the Euro Tour this year. He's having to qualify for them as an unseeded player at the start of the year and just kept on doing it. Absolutely incredible. That's unfortunate. Qualified for the first 8 through the notoriously tough Euro Tour qualifiers, and was winning his first game the
60.
vast majority of times, and indeed had runs into the final session. So he has absolutely stormed up the Euro Tour order of merit. We'll be seeing him at the European Championship, a tournament that, of course, he has gone deep into before.
60.
Indeed, went all the way to the final 10 years ago.
100.
Let's see if he can repeat the trick on the 10th anniversary.
Some story, that.
He's mounting a comeback here, isn't he, Steve Beaton? But a lot of that is to do with the fact that Woodhouse has gone racing out of the traps again, but then run out of steam halfway around the circuit.
88. Stevie Bourne, 16.
Earlier on, Luke Woodhouse was laughing and smirking and even cheering himself on, and now he's berating himself because he's lost 3 on the spin. And the legendary Steve Beaton has got him on the ropes a bit. And this whole psychology
59.
of this sort of game is fascinating, because if this had been the first 6 legs and it had just all been on throw, trading blows, some good stuff, some not so good stuff, Luke Woodhouse would be feeling better than the situation he finds himself in now, where he's won 3 playing brilliantly, and then it's all sort of the wheels have fallen off.
60.
Yeah, Beaton already threatening to break the throw, threatening to do something very, very special. He's had a 9-darter on the Euro Tour already this year. It's Steve Beaton about to repeat the trick.
And he's already got rid of the tricky treble 19. The bronzed Adonis in the 9-dart club on the Euro Tour this year will not earn himself another little pin badge just now.
60.
Applause, rightly so, for the legendary former world champ.
81. Stevie Bourne, 84.
Double 8.
68.
Doesn't matter, Beaton will be back.
If anything, he might be playing a little bit quicker just the last couple of legs. He seems to be racing through these visits, Steve Beaton.
I guess that can happen sometimes with these rhythm players. When they feel like they're starting to play well, they can just put the foot down. Beaton hits the front.
I think it's certainly in his interest to do so, because at the moment Luke Woodhouse is feeling the pressure, literally wiping the sweat from his brow, and part of that will be the conditions here under the lights, but part of it is the fact that Steve Beaton, from way, way back in the distance, has come racing at him like a freight train and has now overtaken him.
Steve Beaton Express.
All aboard.
Woodhouse needs to find something, because
140.
maybe a concern for him that, okay, he got away with tailing off in yesterday's match, but it may well be the case that Woodhouse started on fire and eventually burnt out.
$57.
Beaton favourite here to make it 5 on the spin.
Oh.
38.
Well, a single 20 would have got him to a finish. This is an opportunity. It's one that Luke Woodhouse has to seize. Can he see off 208 in 2 visits? He may only get 2 visits.
60.
It's not enough, is it? Not enough. And Woody, he's getting a little frustrated now.
100.
You can just see the woodpecker motion with his neck as he went back. He's frustrated visibly. Can put it right by landing double 14.
120.
That would have come as a bolt from the blue. He has not even had a dart at double since winning that 3rd leg. Bullseye for Beaton. 5-3. That might be the match-winning shot. Luke Woodhouse stranded on 28 as Beaton makes it 5 on the spin.
Game on.
Steve Beaton, as he so often does, making it look easy. That was a big dart.
96.
Smallest target on the board. The difference between 4 apiece and 5-3 is huge. The one silver lining for Woodhouse in this situation is that he has the darts.
He's still got a higher average than Beaton because he was so good for 3 legs and Beaton was so poor. And then
41.
the tables turned, and just look, he doesn't know how to stop this. That's the thing for Luke Woodhouse.
80.
That's how you stop it, Luke. And it's not as if he's been missing loads of doubles either, as you can see. That one at double 14 for a massive 148 checkout was the first dart at double he'd had since that 3rd leg. It's just that he wasn't there, and Beaton was taking out everything he wanted.
Well, he could stop the rot here, but the question is whether or not he's given himself too much work to do. Great dart, that is.
100.
Superb adjustment. Beaton is not going to be on
58.
any kind of check out, so Woodhouse has a little bit of breathing space just to hold his throw and stay in the match, and then he needs a big one on the Beaton darts.
89.
Okay, well, using the bull to guarantee 2 darts at a double when he returns. That's assuming no big numbers are missed.
99. Luke requires 35.
But Beaton is poised. Double 16 for Luke Woodhouse. 2 goes at it. Last darts. Pins it. Luke Woodhouse finally stops the rot.
Take Steve to throw first. Game on.
Just trying to get himself going again. Strutting around at the back of the hockey.
Well, is there a 3rd act to this play? The first one was all about Luke Woodhouse. It lasted 3 legs.
59.
Then it was all about Steve Beaton. That went on for 5. Could there be a little 3-leg
78.
climax from Woodhouse to turn this match on its head?
Just a little grin there. He knows that that first start
60.
was prime for at least one of the next 2 to follow, and he didn't manage to do so. Beaton pulling away.
171.
And that might mean that in a moment the curtain comes down on this particular
60.
play.
Steve
But there is
112.
another act, and it's going to be a horror show from Beaton from here.
52.
Match darts incoming for the bronze Adonis, looking to make it 6 out of 7 seeded players through this afternoon. Woodhouse 3-0 up and cruising in this one,
60.
and then Beaton came charging back into it, and Luke Woodhouse just could not stop him. All aboard the Steve Beaton Express, destined for the final day of action at the International Darts Open. Beaton through to face Darryl Gurney, the world number 3 in Risa, for a spot in the quarter-finals. Luke Woodhouse slumps out of the European Tour. Here, he'll have one last chance to qualify and make a final day in Gibraltar. But Steve Beaton, well, tomorrow, he could become a 2-time Euro Tour winner. It's time to see the defending champion in a moment. Gerwyn Price, the Iceman, on the way against the birthday boy, Kyle Anderson.
Woodhouse. Congratulations. Happy with the performance? But the checkout percentage was good. Over 50%?
Yeah. My performance overall, you're not going to win tournaments like that. You know, everybody knows that. But you know, to get to the first one, you know, I'm happy now. I'll just get on with tomorrow and see how it goes. But no, I mean, I don't know. It's funny. You play great in the practice room, and it all just goes out the window when you come up here. It just, I don't know.
Steve, what I really like, when I see you on these European Tour events, you still have this big smile in your face. You're doing this for over 30 years now. And you're still enjoying this whole thing, right?
Well, what a great sport to be involved with. You know, I've been very fortunate that I'm still going, and I'm still. I don't think I've ever been out of the top 32. So as long as I can stay in there, I'll keep going. If I start dwindling out, then I'll have to retire then.
Was there this only moment you had which you said, okay, that was the best moment? Was it the World Championship or the World Masters or other moments perhaps?
Yeah, probably winning the Worlds. You know, ever since I was a kid, I used to watch it on the telly, and that was the only thing I ever wanted to do, really, was just win that trophy. And I probably won it too early. I've done what I achieved too early, but no, I mean, it's a lovely sport. I'm so privileged to be still in it, and you know, I'll make the most of it.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Thank you very much. Steve Beaton, the Bronze Adonis. Und sagt, solange ich unter den Top 32 stehe,